it's a very tough line because like you want to have confidence to be able to work on the things that you should be working on, right? Like that's the key, that's the biggest downfall of that type of thing. Like you deserve to work on great things, right? But the other side of it is that people that think they know too much won't learn anything, right? And so I don't know. It's a very delicate line. I think there's a lot of those places. And maybe that's where there's like this duality. Again, it's not duality, but it's like walking the line in product management. Is that you need to be able to understand the way that you are in both ways, and how do you kind of again amplify your strengths, mitigate your weaknesses, and work in a team that's really effective. I mean, that's really what it's all about. And so the imposter syndrome is a useful tool in certain cases, right? Even though I wouldn't call it a tool, I think it's something that happens to people. But like using it as a tool is one of those things of making the best of a situation. Well, I think like this is like for people that maybe get like depressed, for example, there's a certain point where when people get depressed, they can realize that they're being depressed for no reason, and they can still feel depressed, but they can look at it as a third party and say, this is going to pass, right? Like this is a depression thing or a biological thing rather than this is really the way the world is, right? And so I think like imposter syndrome is an interesting one because as a tool, like being able to look at it from the side. So when you're living in the imposter syndrome, it's like, oh God, I'm not good enough. Like, why do these people are all going to find out that I'm an idiot and that I'm just scraping by because I keep pushing forward, right? Like that's what you feel. But if you look at it from the outside, it's like there's a reason why people are giving you respect, right? Like you feel this way because you understand something more innate about the way the product is happening, right? Like, or the way the project is going on. And that's where I think like we try to be too calculated in some ways. Like the reason why people feel angry or feel sad or like happy about things, even if they can't explain it, it's because there's something in their reptilian brain and their emotional systems that's causing them to feel that way. The problem is how do you unpack that, right? And so imposter syndrome, I think as a tool is more like, it's not the actual feeling of like, paranoia that you're going to be found out. Like that's not the good part of it. The good part of it is like, how are you now understanding why you may be good at something? Like looking at why other people are feeling this way towards you, right? But then also alternately, like how is it that you're using this to understand where your insecurities are and why you may have those insecurities, right? That to me is like, that's all about that self-improvement, self-analysis type of stuff. But yeah, it's just, yeah, that's how I use it as a tool, I guess, is I try to think about it from those sides.